Yes. In fact, I'm making sure that that you guys that Europe is thoroughly safe for you to travel to.
Oh, thank you.
So I've got to do all the hard things here, like go to all the bars, check out all the restaurants.
Yeah, get those safe for me, and also
make sure the discos are cleared.
I want to go on a bike trip with my future wife for my big birthday in September. So could you find me a wife also? Get France all ready for me, and then also bring a wife. Okay.
Oh my God.
You had a French wife, right? You can do this for me.
Oh my God. Well, my wife was French Canadian, but believe me, you know, all you got to do is just put your arm out, and Steffi, you will have no problem here.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? Okay. Malcolm, what's all right? Where should we start today? This is kind of a big deal, isn't it? That a oath keeper has apparently flipped and is cooperating with. I mean, this could really, in terms of January 6th, right, be a significant development. Hello.
Well, I think that
go ahead.
A significant development. The question is, which oath keeper in turn did the flipping? Right. Because if it's a relatively low level guy, like one of these Ohio oath keepers, that's fine. The oath keepers and his relationship with Roger Stone.
Right.
And those were the people, you know, and Ali Alexander. In my forthcoming book, They Want to Kill Americans. These guys all coordinated starting around the last week of October. They were sending people to military training camps. And then right after the election on the 4th, the Oath Keepers, the Proud Boys, and started having coordination meetings to attack the Capitol. And they were, practicing on December 12th on the protest that was there, and they were looking to fight Antifa. That's what they kept saying. And then after that, they started having deep coordination meetings. The question is, did they meet with Ali Alexander, the guy who formed it? Did they meet with Roger Stone about this matter? That's where conspiracy comes in.
Thank you. And Malcolm, let me ask, I had a light bulb moment earlier in the show because yesterday we had audio of Stone talking about, it had nothing to do with January 6th, but, the Secret Service called me, which I thought was suspicious, and they wanted to bring me up to the Capitol, but I declined. Well, we also have Alex Jones on tape saying the Secret Service, what do you call it? Was going to bring me to lead the march, and Trump was going to meet us at the Capitol.
Let me tell you something about Alex Jones.
Let me just ask, doesn't that, I feel like they're trying to throw the Secret Service under the bus, but doesn't that implicate Trump more? Boy, we have an overseas line that has a big delay. Malcolm, are you there? Malcolm, dear. Yeah, there you go.
And again, this is what I was going to say about Alex Jones, because we monitored all their communications. Yeah, well, I flew Pan Am over here, so.
Oh, boy. Okay. Go ahead.
This is archaic.
Okay. Go ahead.
It's these archaic lines. Hello, Washington. So these connections that they have, Alex Jones, I'll give him his props. When the rioting went out of control, he did try to bring it under control. But the point is, he was one of the main purveyors that there had to be this massive rally up there. And, and he was up there still chanting, "Stop the steal." He didn't go into the building, but, and he may have tried to mitigate it after the riot got completely out of hand. But he, and amongst others, are all instigators of this.
Yeah. Well, okay. So what do you make of a lot of these, some of these headlines? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but Capitol rioter pleads guilty to one misdemeanor charge and a $500 fine. Feds drop the rest. Judge releases Capitol rioter to go on vacation after she makes divine special appearance in court. Obviously, I know they're working their way up the food chain, and the fact that they're talking about terrorism charges with some, and they're talking about, members of Congress would indicate they are working their way up the food chain. But some of these people, appear to me to be getting off awfully light. What do you think?
Yeah, some are getting off light, but you also have to see the level of cooperation that they may have had with the government. Even though they may have said, hey, listen, I only went in there, I got swept up with the crowd, I started taking photographs. They can video confirm that because most of these people were too stupid to not bring a camera and live stream or videotape their own activity. But on the other hand, they may have been with people who were real conspirators, who could have identified people who actually did carry firearms. And I know I've personally identified for the insurrection hunters, the sedition hunters crew, actual weapons that we saw on people's hips. That they were trying to conceal. Lots of firearms were there. A lot of these guys were cops who claimed that they were carrying their own weapons. So I'm quite surprised there wasn't more shooting. But that being said, the people who really need to get nailed, they're getting hit with multiple charges, 5, 6, 7, 8 different charges, all of which are, the most serious, which are felonies. And what they want these low-level individuals to do is start selling out the guy to the left and the guy to the right of them. And so if someone's walking on a misdemeanor, then either they really did nothing or they gave up the people they were with. And they answered the questions with great satisfaction about what their intention was. And, what I want to see is I want to see more people flipping and coming out. That's wrong. CNN did an interview. This Crowell guy who is on house arrest in Ohio. And when he was like, when they said, you feel bad about what you did? He said, no.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like nail him to the wall.
Right.
Prison for him.
Right.
These people think what they did was great. And then he goes, I don't watch your garbage anyway. Right. Well, they're detached from reality.
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem here.
So, Malcolm, you've been a terrorism expert since forever. Where does this cross the line into fire in a crowded theater? Believers in QAnon conspiracy theory are enthusiastically circulating a video of a contributor at the Trump-loving One America News calling for the mass execution of the former president's enemies. A contributor went off on a rant in which he falsely claimed voter fraud cost Trump the election. A very good solution for dealing with such traitors: execution. Well, that's one of the big tenets of QAnon, is they think there are going to be mass executions at some point. Correct? And this is a
Oh boy. Well, I mean, this is part of the biggest problem we have with QAnon. I see we're sort of overlapping each other here.
That's okay.
But QAnon is an organization who this conspiracy theory joke that some 20-some-year-old or 30-some-year-old kid who was probably, I can't say who it was, but who has all these people believing he's some deep intelligence officer and telling them that mass murder, genocide of liberals is what Donald Trump was secretly planning, and that the military, and clearly this person knew nothing about the military, was going to seize control.